We've got an NFC North subscriber battle this week going on here at Chat Sports. I obviously host this channel, Chicago Bears Now, but we also have a Vikings channel and a Lions channel, and it's a tight race, guys. We've got to pull away from the competition if you want to win this competition and continue to receive daily Bears videos. Hit that subscribe button. Let's pull away from Vikings Now and Lions Talk, who are sitting at 97 and 92 new subs respectively. Hit that sub button, and let's dive into today's show. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. Coming up on today's show, we got a couple of rumor stories to dive into. We'll start with the NFL Draft. Is Paris Johnson Jr. emerging himself as the most likely candidate to be the pick at number 9 overall? Obviously, the Bears have been rumored to trade down again, but I do think that if I had to guess right now who would be the pick at number 9, I do think it would be Paris Johnson Jr., the offensive tackle out of Ohio State. You look at his PFF grades from this past season, 83 overall. His pass blocking almost at 80, run blocking at over 80, gave up just 2 sacks. His athleticism really stands out on tape. The only other tackle in this class that could match his athleticism is Braxton Jones, but he's still a little bit more raw than Paris Johnson Jr., who has more experience, has also played some guard at college, so he's got that versatility as well. But I just think he is going to fit the bill for what Ryan Poles wants in his offensive lineman. Long arms, athletic, he can pull, he can get out in space and put linebackers in the dirt when Bears are running some of those toss plays out of the backfield. I think he's a great fit, and I'll explain here in a second why I think it's even more likely that he could be the selection at number 9. But I want you guys to get involved in the show. What do you guys think? Should the Bears draft Paris Johnson with the number 9 overall pick? Type D for draft or P for pass. Curious what Bears fans think. I know a lot of you guys are high on him. I'm high on him as well. D for draft, P for pass. Let me know how you guys feel. You look at the offensive line depth chart right now, and obviously you need another tackle. We've talked about this quite a bit. Alex Leatherwood, I don't think he's the answer. Sure, continue to develop him. Hopefully he becomes a quality backup. Maybe down the road he's a starter, but I don't think he is right now. Larry Borum, I don't think is a good fit in this scheme. Backup, sure. Starter, not quite. Obviously, I like Braxton Jones, and your interior's in a pretty good spot. But speaking of Braxton Jones, I think the reason Johnson is even more likely the selection at 9 is that Matt Eberflus flat out said at the league owners meetings this week that he believes Braxton Jones can play right tackle. And that was kind of one of my big questions is when you're going through this pre-draft process, if you're Ryan Poles, can Braxton Jones flip to right tackle? Are you comfortable having him do that? If the answer to those 2 questions is yes, then I think drafting a left tackle at number 9 becomes even more likely, in my opinion. And if they want to move Braxton Jones to right, I think getting one of these 3 guys makes a lot of sense. Paris Johnson Jr., Braxton Jones, Peter Skoronski. I'm kind of falling a little back on Skoronski just because he does have those shorter arms. I don't think that those traits are going to appeal Poles as much as Johnson or even Jones would. So keep that in mind as well. Doesn't mean they wouldn't draft Skoronski. Doesn't mean he's not an option, but a lot of scouts will tell you he's a guard in the NFL. Doesn't mean he can't play tackle, but if you're going to move Braxton Jones to right tackle, I think doing it for Paris Johnson or Braxton Jones, but even more so Paris Johnson, is going to be the player that you would do it for. Now, today's show is sponsored by Athletic Greens. Let me tell you something about Athletic Greens. They've changed my life over the past couple of months. I'll be honest with y'all. Toward the end of football season, the Bears were flat out stinking. I was kind of running out of gas with these long days and watch parties. Athletic Greens reached out, and they've given me the energy boost, and they've gotten me back into a great routine with one simple scoop a day of AG1. You can get started with Athletic Greens today at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. AG1 is their product here. You get one small scoop, you mix it with water, you shake it up, and you take it to start your day every single day, and you're just going to be feeling like $1,000,000. The energy level is going to be up. It's going to help support your immunity. It's going to improve your gut health as well. That's something I really wanted to prioritize here in 2023, and it just kind of lined up perfectly when Athletic Greens reached out to us late in 2022 to kind of get that ball rolling. And now with one scoop a day, I feel better and better every single day, physically and just about myself in general. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Change your life with AG1. And what's cool about Athletic Greens as well, it's less than $3 per day. It's a great deal if you use our link. So use our link right now, athleticgreens.com/chatsports. If you use our link, you'll get 5 free travel packs, a year's supply of vitamin D. You will be in a good spot. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description. All right, trade rumors. Grover Stewart. Do you know Grover Stewart? He's actually a pretty solid player. CBS Sports linked him to the Bears as well, said he could be a potential fit for Chicago if the Colts were to trade him before the NFL draft. And Grover Stewart's kind of the forgotten man in Indianapolis on that defensive line because they obviously have DeForest Buckner. They had Yannick Ngakoue last year. And like DeForest Buckner, he has played under Matt Eberflus while he was the the Colts defensive coordinator from 2018 to 2021. So he has that connection. This past year, he had a career high in sacks with 4. So coming off arguably the best season of his career, also had 9 tackles for loss, played really well next to Buckner this past season. Now, he's more of a one-tech defensive tackle, which you've already signed Andrew Billings. I think he's better than Billings, but I don't think you would trade for Stewart and try to force him to be at 3-tech. I don't really think that's the strength of his game, but he could start at 1-tech. Billings becomes more of a rotation guy, and then it would help kind of, close those gaps in terms of building the depth along that defensive line because you still have a ways to go here. I mean, there's just simply no way around it. Dominic Robinson, he cannot be a starter next year. They got to figure out if DeMarcus Walker's going to play more edge or 3-tech. Justin Jones, ideally, he's a rotation guy as well. Travis Gibson, I like him as a backup, so they got to figure some of these things out. Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports had this to say when it comes to Grover Stewart, quote, an underrated mainstay of Indianapolis's defensive front. I think that meant to say, alongside DeForest Buckner, Stewart has been durable and stout as a starting interior man for the last 4 years. He's also on a fair deal due $10.875 million in 2023 amid a slightly inflated defensive tackle market. But the Colts have reason to pivot to more of an offensive focus under coach Shane Steichen, especially with a new quarterback incoming. And dealing Stewart before his contract expires in 2024, entering his age 30 season, would also clear $9.6 million. So there's reasons for the Colts to potentially move his contract. He's getting into his late 20s, approaching 30 in a year or so. And for the Bears, obviously the Eberflus connection, they need help along their defensive line, so that can make sense as well. Now you kind of wonder, okay, what would it cost to bring in a guy like Grover Stewart? Because I actually will punch back on Benjamin a little bit when he says, 10 point whatever million is kind of team friendly. That's a lot for a 1-tech, in my opinion, especially not an elite 1-tech, just a solid one. So I look at the Bears draft capital, I'm kind of thinking, okay, 2 5ths, 2 7ths. The 7th probably won't get it done, but 5th-round pick, would the Colts take 136 or 149? Maybe I'd be willing to do that. Plug-and-play starter for a 5th-round pick with 1 year left on his deal. His cap hit for Chicago would be $9.285 million. So not terrible, but not great. The Bears certainly have the cap space to do it. So, trade for him, pass. It doesn't really convince me one way or another that this is some franchise-altering move, but for a 5th-round pick, you could probably talk me into it. He knows the system. He knows Flus. He's better than most defensive linemen that the Bears currently have. So, day 3 pick, sure. I'm not trading a 3rd or a 4th for him, I don't think. So, that's kind of where I'm sitting at this point in time with Grover Stewart. I would still much rather pay heavier for a guy like DeForest Buckner. Okay, should the Bears trade for Grover Stewart? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Get your votes in down in the comments section below. All right, that's going to do it for today's Bears Rumors Roundup. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will be back with more tomorrow, probably another pair of videos, so subscribe and join us for that. Until then, bear down.